I'm here coming to you from Clearwater, Florida, and we are here tonight to tell you about a very exciting product and company, ASEA. And we have a couple of speakers. First is going to be the wonderful Stevie Aquilina. He's coming to you from all the way across the world. This is the wonders of Zoom. We can do things from many different places and reach so many different people. So I'm really happy that you guys were on here to be able to hear a little bit about what we're talking about. Just want to let you know too, if you do have any questions, we do have this chat bubble on the bottom. I know we can't see you, but you can communicate with us in the chat. So if you have questions as we're going along, feel free to put them in there. And at the end, we'll try to get those all answered for you. So without further ado, I want to introduce Stevie. He's an amazing father, amazing leader in this ASEA field. He's an expert on this product, and you will see that very shortly. And he's going to tell us a bit about his story and what this is all about. So Stevie, over to you.
G'day, Kelly. How you doing?
Good.
That's good. Good to see you. Good to be here with you. Thank you very much for the kind introduction. And I want to say it's always great to see you, and very fortunate to know you, to work with you, and to have befriended you. It's really, and Fernando too. And you're tremendous leaders, and very inspiring, the tremendous effort that you're putting in, not just in your team, but globally as well. And so admire and appreciate you, and feel very fortunate to work with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So good morning or good day from Australia, or good evening, wherever you are in the United States or around the world. It's always my great honor to be here with you and share this great information with you. Since it was first handed to me just over 6.5 years ago, it's been high priority for me to bring it to everybody's attention because the level of importance of this information is incredibly high, because the level of impact that it's having in people's lives is significantly deep. And once you learn what this is, I think that you'll not only want to know about this for yourself, but you'll probably find that you are fortunate to know about this for some loved ones in your life too, people who are significant in your life. The information here is that significant. So without further ado, let me share my screen, because time is very valuable. I don't intend to waste it because I can't refund it. And so it's more valuable than money or anything that costs money. So let me just hit the share button here, and we'll get into the very reason that we're all here this evening. So as Kelly said, very graciously, my name is Stevie Aquilina, and my family and we live in Australia. But now we originally from Sydney, but now we live on the Gold Coast. And that was really and truly a dream come true when we can make that happen. We're minutes from beautiful beaches, mountains, rainforests, coastal cities, theme parks. We love it. I'm very blessed, very grateful for a life, income, time, and freedom that allows me to enjoy a great lifestyle with my family, that's also taken us to many parts of the world that once upon a time way too far out of my reach, to be honest, because the good vibes and good times that we find ourselves in right now have not always been the case. I was a very difficult, weird, and awkward child to parent, school, raise. I never made the grades in school. I was a average to below average achiever. I was often told I was stupid and useless on a daily basis, in fact, to my face. And I figured out along the way, when you're told something often enough, especially while you're young and impressionable enough, you kind of start to believe it. And so I later became a teenage runaway and a high school dropout. And with that kind of thinking, I walked myself way off track on life's journey throughout my teens and 20s. The PG version is I had more than 20 different jobs in far less that time. For over a decade, I was a very dumb but very good-looking bouncer, security guard in what used to be the most popular nightclubs in Sydney, King's Cross, which is a very notorious part of Australia that nightlife doesn't exist anymore there. It was that notorious. So I really didn't give myself the best head start in life. I had big dreams. I was a daydreamer, but not a daydream believer. I wanted to be, do, and have more. I really wanted to give more. That's what I wanted most. But I had little self-esteem, little sense of self-worth, little self-confidence. And so I did little with my life and had little to give. Physically, I've always been athletic, even to right now, and mainly in martial arts. But back then, you wouldn't have known it. I had health troubles, autoimmune, inflammatory, skin, respiratory, and gut diseases most of my life. Lots of bad injuries too from very hardcore martial arts. Financially, I got myself stuck in go nowhere jobs with hopes, prospects going nowhere. No financial security, no financial dignity. Now, this is how embarrassingly broke I've been. Phone, electricity, and gas cut off. Not able to run my car because I couldn't afford the petrol. Not able to pay the rent and been evicted several times, embarrassingly broke. I believed in possibilities, but I doubted my potential. And so with that kind of contradiction, it led to confusion, unfulfillment, unhappiness, frustration, and just feeling trapped and unable to be who I wanted to be. Now, things started to turn around for me first and foremost when I met the girl of my dreams. Right then and there, I was floored and motivated more than ever before to become more. I knew if I was going to get this really awesome woman, I had to become a better man. Now, she believed in me and always told me that I was more. That was a huge turning point for me. I figured out again when you're told something often enough, right? Second to that, I was introduced to this company and its life-changing breakthrough, life-changing financial opportunity, excuse me, and life-changing training. The company leaders are extremely successful people. They believed in me too. More importantly, they've taught me how to believe and become more. So today, instead of having health problems, I've solved them, and I have the honor of helping others to solve them too in very significant ways with this life-changing breakthrough. Instead of financial insecurity and indignity, I have security and dignity because of this life-changing financial opportunity. And instead of being trapped and unable to be who I wanted to be, frustrated, uncertain, unhappy, unfulfilled, I have the ability to believe and become more and now give more because this company's training has shown me a life-changing better way. And so now I want to spend the rest of my life doing nothing less than bettering people's lives in at least any one of these life-changing ways too. So what I'm going to share with you first is the life-changing breakthrough. This is the most significant health and life science breakthrough of our lifetime. Medical experts say this. They say this is a very great breakthrough, greater than the discoveries of DNA or penicillin. For 2 decades, by the way, science had declared that this was impossible. However, this is known now as a breakthrough with enormous potential, proven by renowned universities, medical studies, world-leading laboratory studies. It's a very advanced breakthrough, considered to be 15 years ahead of its time, and any health goals, challenges, problems, concerns, worries you can think of, remarkable results. But drug companies wanted it shut down. We'll talk more about that a little later. Before I tell you what this is, let's be absolutely clear about what this is not, because this is not like anything else you've ever seen before. What we'll be talking about goes well beyond drugs or nutrition. What we'll be talking about goes well beyond any type of ingredients or technology you already know about. What we're going through today goes well beyond anything you're seeing on your screen, because what I'm about to show you is an entirely new frontier in science that is truly groundbreaking, category creating, and a real deal healthcare breakthrough and a breakthrough for humanity. The ASEA Redox cell signaling technology. This product is a drink that contains active redox signaling molecules. What are those? Redox signaling molecules are made within your body. They are made by your cells. They are native to your body, and they are your cellular messengers that affect your cell-to-cell communication and therefore your cell-to-cell operation. And that means everything, and all the way down to your genetic expressions in a very positive way. Now, redox signaling is a remarkable process because it is the actual process that empowers your body to heal itself. This happens by redox molecules telling your cells how to protect healthy cells, how to repair unhealthy cells, and how to replace damaged cells. Redox signaling molecules also activate your body's immune system to protect against bacteria, viruses, and infection. Look, the bottom line is this: redox signaling is what keeps cells functioning at optimal levels. And why is this also very important? Because we are all made of cells. And so what they're doing is what we're doing. We live and die at the cellular level. Healthy cells means a healthy body, means a healthy life, and cells can't be healthy without knowing how to be, and those instructions are given by redox molecules. Now, redox signaling molecules are the keys to life in this way. They are essential for the activation and function of all of our normal physiology. All of our body's major systems critically depend on redox signaling, because if all of your cells were to suddenly stop making redox signaling molecules right now, you wouldn't live longer than just a few more mere seconds. Now, you can live longer without food. You can live longer without water. You might be able to live longer without air, but without your redox signaling molecules, within seconds, life just ends. So if our bodies already make redox signaling molecules, why do we need to give our bodies more? Well, when we're born, we make an abundance of redox signaling molecules. That's generally why children have so much energy and how they can run around all day and not be sore from it the next day, and they do it again. And if they do get injured, if they do get sick, they do heal very quickly, don't they? However, as we age, along with stress, poor diet, toxins, and lots of other environmental assaults, our cells break down. And with it, our production of redox signaling molecules breaks down. Without as many of these redox signaling molecules giving the clear cell signals and instructions, our whole cellular protection and healing process becomes slow. Our cells break down even more. Our production of redox molecules breaks down even more. It's a vicious cycle that rolls into a breakdown ultimately in our health, wellness, youth, and vitality. ASEA takes science seriously and is highly committed to ongoing research with renowned universities, world-leading laboratories, and they allow these outside and independently reviewed studies to prove the potential of ASEA, demonstrating the safety and efficacy of ASEA and certifying them as safe and effective in everybody. Now, ASEA is within a very real and significant space of science, because redox science is based in Nobel Prize winning research. Since the first Nobel Prize was awarded to these three professors back in 1998 for the very first discovery of a signaling molecule, there have now since been multiple signaling molecules discovered with multiple Nobel Prizes awarded for research in this field. If you went along to pubmed.gov, which is where all peer-reviewed medical studies are published in the National Library of Medicine, if you typed in redox signaling there, you would see well over 33,000 results. There are more than 1,500 medical textbooks that have been published on redox signaling, and this slide is already way out of date with around 150 studies coming out almost every single month. So according to medical researchers, as reported in mainstream media like this Huffington Post article, which specifically wrote about ASEA, redox signaling is one of the fastest emerging fields in science that will shape all of our lives in the coming years. And there are now multiple universities who've received tens of millions of dollars in grants to open up redox research centers. There are global medical conferences being held about redox. Medical doctors are specializing in redox, with one such professor, a doctor at Harvard Medical School, who has a PhD and title that includes Director of Redox Medicine. And as for ASEA, outside of all of this, we're already light years ahead. Now, ASEA redox users enjoy cell signaling benefits, which translates to health at its most foundational level. Here's just one example. ASEA redox has been scientifically tested and shown to signal the activation of your genetic pathways. And in other words, affect your genes that improves your immune system health, that helps maintain a healthy inflammatory response, that helps maintain cardiovascular health, that's your heart health, and support your arterial elasticity, that improves your digestive function, your gut health and digestive enzyme production, and that modulates your hormone balances to support vitality and wellness. Now, these genes are key in the health of every individual. They play a vital role, not just in the 5 mentioned human health areas, but also in dozens of additional genetic pathways. It goes on and on and on. Moreover, ASEA redox has also been scientifically tested and shown to enhance your body's own production and efficiency of antioxidants by up to 800%. Further studies show that ASEA lowers oxidative stress. Now, the head professor of this university study has come forward saying that one of the most important effects of ASEA on disease risk factors is its ability to reduce oxidative stress. Significant, because all degenerative health conditions are caused by oxidative stress. From rigorous toxicology studies, ASEA is proven to be 100% safe. 0% toxicity. Why? Well, because redox signaling molecules are native to your body. They're already in you. Your body already makes them. It's just that now your body can't make as much of them as it used to be able to when it was younger and healthier. So if you have health challenges, if you have people that you care about who do, if you have a wish that you could look, live, and feel young once again, if you have the very good sense for protecting your health because you don't want to become old and unwell, if you have a goal of having higher levels of human performance, any health goal you can think of, Redox users and medical doctors are seeing just remarkable results. But you don't need to take my word for it, because here are some medical doctors right now for you to listen to so you can hear what they have to say.
Redox signaling molecules are like the DNA whisperer. They signal cells to be healthy. And because of age, because of medications, because of toxicity in the environment, you lose your ability to make the redox signaling molecules. So having them with ASEA simply replenishes what your body is doing natively when you were young.
One sec. Bear with me one moment, folks. One second.
I've been in the business.
Okay, we should have sound now.
Redox signaling molecules are like the DNA whisperer. They signal cells to be healthy. And because of age, because of medications, because of toxicity in the environment, you lose your ability to make the redox signaling molecules. So having them with ASEA simply replenishes what your body is doing natively when you were young. You know, I've been in the business for 40 years, and this is the first time that I've ever heard about the redox signaling molecules, which to me is a breakthrough of the 21st century, akin to the electric light bulb in the 20th century and maybe even the discovery of penicillin. Because your body is a redox signaling program, and to be able to replenish it on a day-to-day basis, internally and externally, is not just a breakthrough, it's a game changer.
Health is something we have to earn. What can I do to get to the root of things and really prevent problems from happening? Is it possible? And the answer is yes.
You know, I think most people don't actually really consider their health until it's gone. So it's the choices that we make today that are going to determine the level of our wellness and our health and our healthy longevity tomorrow.
We want to keep people healthy. We don't want to see that deterioration. The whole process of the anti-aging and regenerative medicine that I'm so passionate about is on the premise that we can maintain energy, we can maintain health.
So prevention is key, but people need to value it, and people need to understand what it is and take responsibility.
Inside every cell in your body, you're constantly producing negative and positive molecules called oxidants and reductants, and the contraction of that name is redox.
So with these molecules, we're amping up that communication. We're helping that cell signal.
Without these cell signaling molecules, we simply wouldn't do the gene replication that we need, the DNA sequencing that we need. These redox signaling molecules interact throughout the body with every cell that we know.
Every cell in our body needs these molecules for communication purposes. The more balanced they are, the more abundant they are, the healthier we are.
ASEA actually has the combination of the oxidants and the reductants that the body makes. So all we're doing with ASEA is enhancing what the body is already doing.
Having a product, a technology that's native to the body doesn't have to worry about detoxifying it because it knows exactly what to do with redox molecules. It's one of, if not the safest recommendation I ever make to a patient.
They found a way to stabilize them outside the body. You can actually put them back into bodies that are deficient in those molecules. That's a game changer.
To have something that at its molecular level is native to the body is nothing short of a breakthrough.
This is something that's foundational for health, for every cell. It affects every cell in our body. And not just the cells, but the very DNA within those cells. You know, we talk about the discovery of DNA as being a huge breakthrough, the discovery of penicillin. Yes, these were absolutely huge discoveries, but now we have something that actually goes even deeper.
This is where the future lies, and this is why redox chemistry and supplements that employ this are so powerful.
They literally turn on and turn off, signal every single process in every living cell. And to be able to stabilize a product that allows us to replenish that is just a phenomenal breakthrough.
This has the capability to change the landscape of the healthcare system as we know it.
Now that we've spoken about cellular health from the inside out, let's show you what's possible from the outside in. And that's made possible by ASEA's topical versions of Redox technology. They are Renew 28, our Redox gel, and our intensive Redox serum. Now, these Redox technologies are supported and enhanced by their complementary and all-natural ingredients products, our gentle refining cleanser, and our ultra-replenishing moisturizer. But a picture is worth 1,000 words, right? So let's just show you what our Redox technologies are actually worth with these amazing pictures showing anti-aging, health, and age-reversing results. Lines and wrinkles are smoothed out. Elasticity comes back to the skin. Skin blemishes, spots, dots, and marks, irritations, inflammations, aggravations, and other signs of poor health to the skin being renewed. For young people too, being rejuvenated and improving the quality of life, and even the aftermath of some of these unfortunate conditions coming back to the proper surface of the skin. This is Rosie. The dramatic difference you're seeing in the first two pictures on the left could not be seen by Rosie because she didn't take those pictures, and Rosie actually believed the products were not working. Rosie went along to see her doctor. That's who told her about ASEA and who took these pictures. And when Rosie told the doctor, hey, the products don't work, the doctor pulled out these pictures, and I guess the rest of the story can be seen here, right? Everybody says they want to see how ASEA goes, but Rosie missed the moment by moment changes by not taking pictures, and you're probably going to miss them too, so please take pictures. That's how you see how this goes. For anything you can't take a picture of, keep a written record instead. Now, how long does it take for you to notice a change? Well, everyone's different. Some people notice it within around 7 weeks, like Rosie, others within 7 days. Some people can have an experience in around about 7 minutes, but some people need to apply more product, time, and patience, generally when there's more going on with their health. Now, what we know scientifically is that redox signaling molecules are all the same. They're the same in you, me, animals, and plants, all the same. Studies show that ASEA redox products have an immediate positive effect. They work in every single person, every single time. It would be scientifically impossible for them to not work in you and or hurt you. But what does differ from person to person is the time it takes them to notice the change. Speaking of that, this doctor did a little experiment on his very own face and used Renew 28 on only half of his face and not the other. Can you notice the change here? Can you spot the difference? Now, Renew 28 is not just for your face. As you can see here, a lady's arm, hands, belly, more bellies, and buttocks, thighs, and all over. These pictures are actually from a study by a world-leading laboratory. And the study was done because there were many stories coming in from all over the world from people saying that their cellulite had disappeared while they were using Renew 28. And so scientists set upon very strict studies to see if there was any truth to these stories. Here's what they found. After just 12 weeks, there was a 16% reduction in the appearance of cellulite. And when the scientists did ultrasounds to try and establish how this was happening, they saw the subcutaneous fat that was causing the cellulite. This fat was actually being dissolved from the use of Renew 28. So Renew 28 helps reduce the appearance of cellulite and wrinkles, enhancing not just skin texture and smoothing the skin, but it's actually for younger, healthier skin, which is more important, right? Healthy is the new beautiful. Renew 28 helps soothe skin discomfort after things such as shaving and sun exposure. But Renew 28 is not just for the skin. It helps soothe discomfort around the body. And you can know about it in about 10 minutes. If you have anything on your body, in your body, around your body that is sore, I want you to rate that soreness on a scale of 1 to 10. Give it a score that would suit that soreness. 10 meaning the most sore experience you could have, right? Apply Renew 28 on that sore spot 3 times within 5 minutes. Usually 9 to 10 out of every 10 people will notice a soothing reduction of that discomfort within approximately 10 minutes. Now, nothing I've said here today has been intended to diagnose anything that you're going through. And ASEA does not claim to treat or cure any diseases. Now, it is a historical truth and a universal fact, right? That with every great breakthrough comes great opportunity. And the greater the breakthrough, the greater the opportunity. And ASEA is a life-changing breakthrough. But before we go into the life-changing financial opportunity behind it, I'd like to hand it back to Kelly so she can introduce a speaker who can give you a great demonstration of all those pictures that showed you what was happening from the outside in. Imagine what these molecules could be doing to you from the inside out. And so a good demonstration of that and many more things about this breakthrough and company comes from this next gentleman. So excited to hear from him. Thanks, Kelly.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, Stevie. So hopefully you guys are learning something here. And the next speaker we have is Dan Doyle. He has an amazing story. I have gotten to know Dan. He actually was one of the reasons, or yeah, the reason that I found out about this product through another friend of mine via. So it's pretty amazing how this goes. Just because someone chooses to speak out, you never know where that's going to get to. So without further ado, I want to introduce Dan Doyle so he can tell you his amazing story. And take it away, Dan.
Thank you, Kelly. Going to throw you on the spot if that's okay, because we've had a few people reach out again, as they normally do, saying, hey, we need to hear Kelly's story. Do you mind?
Oh, really? Who's reaching out to you?
I love a lot of people. I'm getting texts left, right, and center.
Nice. Sure, I guess I can talk about my story briefly here.
Sure,
so,
that'd be awesome.
Let me, pictures always kind of help a little bit just so that you can kind of get an idea of what happened here. So I'll just go back. I have a couple of photos. So yes, I'm going to share my screen. So this was me back in about 2016. I was working with my husband and we had our own construction company. So as you can see, I was pretty physical and doing all kinds of things. And see, does it switch here? So I was definitely doing a lot of exercise and whatnot, and I thought I was doing well, but sometimes things are brewing internally that you don't always realize. And even though I wasn't very old, I was only 36 at the time, 37, my body decided to very quickly go in a direction that was not towards health, let's just say. So in this photo here, you know, I'm 5'7", about 155 pounds. Very quickly, I was down to about 100 pounds in this photo here. Now, one of the things about this too is, you see I'm smiling, but I was in so much pain this day that, I mean, this was just torture. But, you know, I put it on for the folks. I was at somebody's wedding. But then a few days later, this was me probably at, you know, this is just about 5 days later. I could not even get out of bed, and this very quickly started my journey in and out of hospitals, and I had an autoimmune issue that affects your whole digestive system. So around this time period, a friend of mine who is actually on this call too, Kayleen, she told me about this product, ASEA. She didn't actually even know I was sick at the time, but she said this was helping her and she wanted me to find out about it. So I actually wasn't really interested to find out about it for some reason, but I did end up going to a presentation and I saw a gentleman who I thought was not even alive, and so somehow this product was helping him. I didn't even know what the product was. I had actually missed the whole presentation. I came late, about an hour late, and I got started on it, and then this began a road for me. I was still in and out of the hospital. I was on all kinds of medications, but I was taking ASEA the whole time. And as I think it was explained earlier, there isn't any interactions when it comes to medication. So I used to take the bottles with me into the hospital, and doctors would kind of look at it. They didn't know what it was. But it was about a 1.5 year journey, so it was not overnight success. I did have some things along the way, and then you can see about 2 years later, this was the result. Back to health, off the medications, and not managing this as the doctor said that I was going to have to do. So it's made me very passionate to share this with others, because I spent that time seeing how our Western medical system goes, and for me it was just told, yeah, you're on medications for the rest of your life and you're going to be dealing with this, and hopefully you have good insurance, because there's expensive treatments that you're going to have to do. So here I am now 4 years later, fully healthy, and thank you, Dan.
No, our pleasure. And it was great that obviously Kayleen, and with the way that this works, somebody tells somebody that tells somebody, and it's that's the incredible business model that we have, which you guys will hear about shortly. Great to see you get your health back, and so happy to have mine back. High impact story, and this is what it's all about. People need to hear our stories, and that's all we do. We don't sell, we tell. So thanks, Kelly. I'm going to quickly share my story, and then I'll throw it back to you.
Sure.
Alrighty, guys. Let me just share this. A lot of you guys on the call have heard my story, but for those who haven't, as Kelly said, my name is Dan Doyle from Sydney, Australia. Currently in Beverly Hills in Los Angeles, and heading back to Hawaii this Thursday. And who knows after that? Been an incredible journey with ASEA. Many years ago, I had incredible health and played many sports. And unfortunately, over time, my health was taken away from me due to using a horrendous weed killer. And then it was on the battle for my life, trying to survive on a daily basis. Going to go through my story. Before I do, just to reiterate what Stevie said about the company disclaimer that these products are not intended to treat, diagnose, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. But I can tell you it's something absolutely profound. These redox signaling molecules that can signal the body to heal itself. So growing up in Sydney, I played many sports, as Stevie did and does, rugby, judo, gymnastics, aerobics, surfing, and bodybuilding. And this is me back in the early 90s. I can see 1992 on that trophy. I was about 24 years old, somewhere there. State titles, came second. Ain't no second prize. Don't like to talk about this one, but this is me starting off being a very young entrepreneur in the health and fitness industry. And over the next 20 years, I built and sold 20 traditional businesses and employed about 3,500 people. Very successful in many industries: hospitality, security, construction. So it was a great 2 decades of being a young entrepreneur till I got to 44, which was still okay at this stage. But unfortunately, it was coming to the end of me being a businessman. And unfortunately, because my health took a terrible turn, something that I wasn't expecting, something that I thought at the time came overnight, but obviously that wasn't the case. Felt a little lump or something that didn't feel right in my abdomen, and 6 months later in 2011, doctors giving me some very bad news. This is a picture of me on the right-hand side, spending 2.5 years in and out of a hospital in Sydney, Australia, and what I went through, I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. A friend of mine standing next to me, Johnny Manor, played the highest levels of rugby in Australia, and he'd been through all the hospital visits that I was starting here. He had what they would have considered the good one, whereas I had 2 of the bad challenges. And he was in remission at this time. At the age of 21, back into playing the highest levels of rugby in Australia. Unfortunately, after this photo was taken, his issue came back, went back into hospital, started losing all his hair again, lost a lot of weight, never came back. Out of that hospital, we lost him at the age of 23. At the end of my 2.5 years of hospital visits, I asked the doctors the question, what's going to happen now? And straight out, they hit me between the eyes and told me to get my affairs in order. So I made a decision at that point to take the responsibility of my health back into my own hands, did some research. Research led to an alkaline diet, totally cleaned up my diet. And something else that I did, which was very difficult for me to do with my mindset, I reached out to network marketing companies for their products, because I did find some very, very good products. Something that I wouldn't have done earlier due to the fact that I didn't believe in the business model, which was just naive of me. And I spent a lot of money on supplements from companies like Zango, their mangosteen juice, and Isogenics, Product B, Life Vantage, Pro Tandem, Celgevity from Max Products, and also Kangen Water, religiously on these products for 2 years, and really looking after my health through an alkaline diet. And you would think my body would have been heading in the right direction. You would think I would be getting great results from what I was doing. And unfortunately, that wasn't the case. This is a photo of me 2 years looking after myself. I can tell you my body was still heading in the wrong direction, and my blood works were as well. And I was still in a lot of trouble with my health. This is 2014. A friend of mine reached out, Bart Cotter, and all he said was, I think I've found something that can help you. He knew I was still in a lot of trouble. So long story short, I flew from Sydney, Australia to Salt Lake City, Utah, started on these molecules. In a short 3 hours, my body was expelling things from it so fast. I had little red spots all over my upper torso. In 12 hours, a 20-year caffeine intolerance had disappeared. Any more than 2 coffees a day, I'd be buckled over with discomfort and bloating. And the light bulb really went on the second to third day, where I had so much lung damage from what they did to me in that hospital, where I had trouble breathing and talking at the same time. My lungs were functioning perfect. So I went back to Australia. I kept drinking the product. Long story short, again, 1 year later, end of 2015, this is the day the doctors told me no sign of those 2 major health challenges. Not only that, multiple injuries from playing sports had gone away. They were turning into that crippling issue as we get older. 20 years of pollen problems, sneezing, runny nose. My whole body was rebuilt top to bottom in 2015. So that was my journey back to health. But if we fast forward another 2 years, this is 3 years on the product. I always like to go back to 2014. This is when I didn't have my health. As a matter of fact, I looked a lot better when I started those hospital visits back in 2011. So here I am, 2014, whole body totally destroyed, I suppose, from what I'd been through, but still, expecting it to head in the right direction from everything that I was doing through alkalining and whatnot, and taking all those supplements and super juices, but still in a lot of trouble. So what you're seeing on the outside is a reflection of what was happening on the inside in 2014, 1 year on the product. So a whole of 2015, you can see I'm looking a lot better, definitely feeling a lot better. What you're seeing on the outside, a reflection of what was happening on the inside. 2017, which is 3 years on the product, my complexion, a reflection of what was happening on the inside at that time. Amazing journey back to health, and things evolved along the way with me helping other people and sharing this with other people. My biggest regret was not sharing this with anybody for at least 5 months after I took the product, and being actively involved in the opportunity behind this incredible breakthrough, which you're going to hear about shortly. So when I did that, the business opportunity behind the breakthrough gave me the ability to earn thank you checks, which I invested back into more product for my own health, therefore saturating my body, getting these molecules to the damage, signaling my body to where the problem was. So we went from living in a van and almost going to the Salvation Army for food stamps only several years ago, to living a life that I could never have dreamed of or imagined, which something we weren't aiming for initially, but things evolved. And knowing what I know now, as I said, I really regret not sharing this with anybody from day one and engaging in the business model behind ASEA. With that, I'm going to throw back to Callie, and you're going to hear more about ASEA and the business opportunity behind it. For those who are on the call or just wanted to hear this just for their own health, just make sure you go to the person who introduced you. But highly recommend you stay on this call, because, as much as you might want this for yourself, I'm sure you know people that need this as well. Thanks, Callie.
Thank you, Dan. Love hearing that story. It's always learn something new each time. So now that you've heard about what this product is, and again, if you do have questions, feel free to put them in the chat, and we'll get to those at the end of this. So we're going to go back to Stevie just to tell us a little bit about how the business side of this works, because there is that side as well.
Thanks very much, Callie. Folks, and Dan too, thank you very much, mate. Appreciate you. And so, folks, as I said before, with every great breakthrough comes great opportunity. Now, ASEA is, hope you get the gist of this now, it is a life-changing breakthrough. And so that's created a life-changing financial opportunity behind all of this to make a living while bettering people's lives. Now, as for the ASEA Redox products, we are the world's first and only redox signaling supplements for 2 very simple reasons. One, for nearly 3 decades now, no one other than the medical scientists who've worked with ASEA, no one but them have been able to figure out how to create and stabilize redox signaling molecules outside of the body. In fact, for the 2 decades before ASEA's breakthrough work, science had declared that this was all impossible. And 2, ASEA is heavily patented, but I should say, by the way, Bioagilitics certifies that every bottle of our ASEA Redox products contains nothing but redox signaling molecules. Why is this an important certification? This scientific organization, Bioagiletics, is partnered with most of the top pharmaceutical companies in the world, assessing them too and making sure that what is in their products is exactly what they are saying is in their products. And they do that same assessment with ASEA on a regular basis. Now, too, ASEA is heavily patented, but not only is ASEA not allowed to be copied, it can't be copied, because there's no way for anyone to be able to look into a bottle of ASEA and figure out how to reverse engineer it, because there are trade secrets in the making of ASEA. And so it really can't be copied. And that means we have no copycats. That means we have no competition. That means no one in the world has what ASEA has. No one. And no other products in the world can do what ASEA does. None of them. Nothing else in the world can get to the depth and level of achievement in the human body as what ASEA can, because it's redox signaling molecules. And because redox works in everybody, and because everybody needs redox, and because nothing in the body works as well or at all, in fact, without redox, right? No juice, pill, super shake, fancy water, seabed oil, whatever it might be, and however good it might be, can't work in the body without redox. And because redox can't hurt anybody, and because no other products can make that claim or any of these claims, ASEA holds massive opportunities across all health science sectors like nothing else ever has and nothing else ever will. Whether it be healthcare, wellness, sports science, athletic performance, beauty, skincare, aging, longevity, this is one breakthrough that is completely game-changing $3 trillion industries. ASEA is the only company in the world that the world can get a redox supplement from. And so ASEA really is an entrepreneur's dream. Our mission is to better people's lives and to be a force for good in the world. We can't do that on our own, and so we look for people to help spread the word. ASEA, and we do this, in 3 very simple ways. Very simple. First, we personally share ASEA with customers, with others. 2, we grow and expand a global network of others who are also doing the same. And in this way, you're in business for yourself. You can be your own boss, but you're never in business by yourself, because together we work to improve the productivity of the networks that we've built. And that can happen regionally, nationally, internationally. So it's kind of like a franchise business, but instead of building restaurants and burgers like, let's say, McDonald's do, here at ASEA, instead of building buildings, we build people. And we don't even have to make, ship, or handle the products. The company does all of that for you. And so in this way, you can make an income like a franchise, in fact, even more than that, but without all of the expenses, risk, and stress. ASEA gives you the opportunity to earn money just by sharing redox with others, and they take care of the rest. So for people looking for an extra part-time, full-time, big-time, or even legacy leaving income for loved ones, for people who have dreams of a better life, income, lifestyle, there are levels of commissions to meet whatever your levels of ambitions are. To be able to afford making your goals, dreams, and desires a reality, ASEA helps you create income that is both residual and leveraged. So you receive a residual income from the first and all of the repeated purchases made by every single person that you refer to ASEA. Now, on top, you also received unlimited leveraged income, residual income from all of the repeated purchases made by every single person your contacts and others also refer. And there's no limits to how far and wide and deep these referrals can go around the world. Now, because you can refer as many people as you like, and because they can refer as many people as they like, and because you get paid on every single purchase, every single time, even if it's the same person purchasing again and again and again, it makes the residual income potential here unlimited. Now, we do this type of marketing all the time. Just like when we recommend a good movie, TV series, restaurant, cafe, book, whatever it might be, people tell people who then tell even more people, and it goes on and on. Word of mouth marketing is the oldest and still today #1 most powerful, effective, trusted, listened to form of marketing in the world. There's no limits, especially with how connected the world is today. Word spreads worldwide. ASEA is currently in 35 countries, opening up new markets. They've done that almost every single year. We've been in business into our 11th year now. We were profitable from year 1 with 0 debt. We've carried that statistic every single year. The only thing that's changed in our profitability is that we've increased every single year. We've increased in profitability. Based on existing trends, the annual turnover is projected to exceed more than $500 million in the next 5 years here at ASEA. Now, residual income is impressive, but more so it's important. I needed to think of it this way. Maybe someone out there listening to this does too. You have residual bills. Why not residual income? What I found out about how many people actually worked this out was quite concerning. And I was one of the people who wasn't working it out. So I was very concerned. Do you know what happens to most people by the time they're 65? Out of every 100 people, only 1 is wealthy, only 3 are financially secure, 7 must still work to survive at 65. Now, these 7 people out of every 100 are not working because they want to, they're working because they have to. They're a slave to the dollar at 65 again, right? And 74 out of every 100 people become dependent on welfare by 65. And so obviously things are going wrong. Obviously people are not on 81% of people are on a failing financial plan. And I was one of them. And so I had to figure out what's the one main financial principle that the top 4% know that I didn't know that I needed to figure out. And it was this: how to make money that's no longer dependent on your paid by the hour, selling your precious time for money, labor intensive or own activity job. Especially when it comes to labor intensive part, it's known as active income. Look, sooner or later, we're not going to be able to be as active as we are right now. Therefore, we're not going to be able to have as much active income as we have right now. And this was very concerning for me at the time because my active income already wasn't enough as it was. And this is one of the biggest problems that 81% of people get trapped in. Money is an excellent servant. You can do a lot of good with money, but it's a terrible master. And so if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you'll be a slave for money until you take the long sleep. Now, I'm not saying jobs are bad. They're a good place to start for most of us. And if you truly do love your job, keep it. You're blessed. But still, find a way to make money outside of your job that's not going to interfere with what you're currently doing that you love so much, because only relying on a single source of active income is not smart and dangerous to financial security. So for people who are smart, who've been wanting to be in the right place at the right time, are able to recognize a good thing, who decide to take control of their finances and their future and their security and their freedom. And maybe you're not happy with the amount of money that you have, or maybe you make good money, but you're not happy with how you make it. Look, whatever dreams and goals and desires you have, ASEA is a significant opportunity to be paid a significant residual income from the inevitable growth of its global expansion to afford you those dreams. But there's nothing better than making a living from bettering people's lives. And that's really what you get to do with ASEA that is most important. Look, it's who we become and what we do that is the biggest reward over and above any riches it will make us. Now, you can make really great money here. Let's not steer away from that. You can even be rewarded on top with all expenses paid trips to 5-star luxury locations around the world. Have a great time with great people, making great friends and having great experiences and a great lifestyle. But at the end of the day, what's most important? The effect we have on others. That is one of the most valuable currencies there is. That's the heart of ASEA, demonstrated right from the beginning. The truth is, after big pharmaceutical companies were shown tens of millions of dollars, 17 years worth of powerful research and clinical studies proving ASEA, those drug companies offered to pay ASEA huge sums of money for the sole and exclusive rights to the ASEA Redox technology. However, these drug companies wanted ASEA to shut down and to take everyone off Redox. But thankfully, the founders of ASEA, Virtus and his son, Tyler Norton, they had the great foresight to see very grave concerns and consequences in such a deal. Because Virtus and Tyler saw people who went from severe health challenges that once left them and their doctors feeling hopeless to then experiencing life-changing power from Redox. And so when Virtus and Tyler saw this, they were not just filled with a great sense of purpose and responsibility to get this breakthrough for humanity out to the world, but they were concerned about taking it off people. And so they couldn't in good conscience sell out. And so that's why they didn't. They said no to the payout and yes to the people. Now, in truth, for Virtus and Tyler, this is once upon a time, it just started out as just a very big business play. But seeing the power of this and the power of what it was doing for people, it had very quickly become more. The ASEA founders turned down the huge sum of money from big pharmaceutical companies, deciding to go the supplement route rather than the drug route, in order to expedite the availability of this technology globally, making available immediately to everyone without a prescription. Now, one of ASEA's very biggest, most guiding principles was demonstrated here, as is always demonstrated in every decision they make. That is to always put people and principles before ego and economics. Now, the ASEA founders and their corporate team come from big backgrounds, exceptional backgrounds, up to Fortune 50 backgrounds. They know how to run very big, profitable, global businesses, but their corporate soul revolves around putting people first. So you're in very good hands. Get back with the person who shared this with you and let them know at the very least you were here. But let me ask you, if you want to be happier and healthier, if you want to live younger, stronger, longer. You may just want to become an ASEA customer, but do you have dreams and desires more than that? Do you want to have and able to give more? Do you want to help people be happier and healthier? Do you want a better life, income, lifestyle? Do you want to increase the prosperity of the planet? Do you want to make a bigger difference in the world? Well, you can become part of this Redox reality, and you can become more. And if you'll just pass this information on for many, many others, you can better the lives of many, many others. Your life will become better in many, many ways too. So thank you for listening to me. I'm going to hand it back to you, Callie, and I appreciate you being on here and looking after us. I know you've got some words to take this home.
Yes. Well, thank you guys for being here. I just have a couple more minutes before we get into our global team training. So I'm just going to share my screen one more time and finish this up here. All right. Just going to move everybody out the way because otherwise I can't read these things. So we went over the different products that we have here at ASEA. There's a few that we didn't talk about too much, and just going to touch on those briefly. So we talked about the ASEA Redox supplement and a little bit on that skincare line. And then we also have this small line here of supplements, which I'll tell you a little bit about that. One thing which is really important is to have correct expectations. And I talked a little bit about that in my story, and Dan, you saw the time that we spent in recovering our health. But some people want to start this and they say, I want to just try a bottle, or let me try a month supply. But you can see from this graph that, you know, we're dealing with cellular health, so those can take some time. 10 to 15% of people did see results in that first week, about 50 to 65% in a month, and then you can see the results go higher as people take this product for longer. So it's better if you can try to at least give this a 90-day try. That's a really good time to say that you're see some sort of results. We want to make sure that you can get the best results, so don't want to shortchange yourself by not trying it for long enough. And so, as we talked about, this is that skincare line, which is really great. All the ingredients are listed out in the library that we have, so you can read out what everything is in there. And this is that nutrition line. Now, I just want to say this is not available in every market, so depending on where you are, get with the person who invited you here, and they'll let you know what is available. But we do have this Omega, which is this one is the Omega. That's the, what do you call these things again? I know you're telling me right now, Kayleen. Omega 3s, there you go, fish oil. And then you have the Life Max, which is a cellular support. You have the Source, which is a whole food supplement. And then you have the Biome, which is a probiotic. And one thing which is great about these is they do have a patented absorption complex, which helps so these things are found in the bloodstream very quickly, which is really important. If you're taking supplements, you want to make sure your body's actually absorbing and using them. And then these work along with the Redox to help your body. Now, one thing which is really important is people get excited and they want to just go jump on the internet and buy this product. But you want to make sure you're getting it from an approved source, meaning that person who invited you here. If you go find it on places like eBay or Amazon, yes, sometimes you'll see it there, but that's not product that you're getting from necessarily the company. We don't actually even know if it's expired or if it's even really ASEA. So definitely want to get that from the person who invited you here. Plus, you'll get some great people telling you things and support. You'll have people to ask questions to. And you have a great thing when you're having shipping coming each month. We have these loyalty points which can add up. And you get a lot of free product from that, which has been great. So you can put it to work in a couple of ways. You can be a consumer, or you can do this as a part-time associate, share this, get some money for that, help to pay for your own product. Or you could do this as a full-time associate, which is what those of us who have been sharing with you today are doing. Now, as far as just a recap on those accounts, so you have the preferred retail customer, so you're buying that at full price, or you can get the 25% discount as a preferred customer. You would be getting those shipments coming each month, and because of that, you get these loyalty rewards, which will add up towards free product. And then if you want to share this and get that associate account, it's only $40 US. and it's a $25 renewal. Not a lot to pay for this amazing business opportunity that you can have. And to wrap it up here, so we're trying to support your body's ability to maintain and reclaim health. And I just want to end off with a quote from the founder, Vertus Norton. We're all at the start of something big with great purpose, and right now is the moment that we begin influencing the future. We can change the world. So with that, I'm going to stop my share. And let me just see. All right. Seeing if there's any questions in the chat. Nope. So thank you guys for being here. We have a couple more minutes, and we're going to start with this team training. You're welcome to stay on. We're going to have, who is it that's speaking today, Dan?
He's on here, Justin Wilson.
Oh, cool.
VP of Global Sales, yeah.